Hello, this is Dr. Mears, and today we are going to be dividing polynomials using long division. Let's first remember the algorithm for long division. We're going to divide 8,764 by 4. What you're going to do is first you're going to set it up, and then you're going to look at this first digit, 8, and you're going to say, can I divide 8 by 4? And you're going to say, yes, I can. 4 times 2 is 8. So we have to be able to know what number we have to divide, we have to multiply by 4 to get to 8. And, well, 2 times 4 is 8. So we're going to write it here, and then it's always subtraction here. 8 minus 8 crosses out, it's 0. We're going to bring down our next number, which is 7. Can we divide 7 by 4? Well, 4 times 1 gives us 4. It won't go in evenly because we can't divide 7 by 4 evenly. So we have to think of the next number we can multiply to get as close to 7 as possible. So 1 times 4 is 4. We're going to subtract. We have 3 left over. Is there a number that I can multiply 4 by to get to 3? And we can't. So what we're going, we can't. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to bring down the 6. Just like we bring down that 7, we're going to bring down the 6. Okay. Now, can I multiply a number by 4 to get to 36? Yes. 4 times 9 is 36. Great. I'm going to subtract. That crosses out. I need another number. I'm going to bring down 4. Bring down 4. Is there a number I can multiply 4 by to get to 4? Yes, that is 1. So 1 times 4 is 4. Subtraction crosses out. We get 0, so there's no remainder. So when we divide 8,764 by 4, we get 2191. Okay, let's do it again, but this time I think we're going to get a remainder. Let's divide 1,816 by 7. First, we're going to look at the first digit, 1. So is there a number I can multiply 7 by to get to 1? And there's not. So we're going to go to that next number. We're going to go to 18. Is there a number I can multiply 7 by to get, well, close to 18 at least? And we're going to do 2. Notice that I'm writing it over the 8 because that's where we're starting. We're starting with the 18. So I'm writing the number that we're going to be multiplying by over the 8. So 2 times 7 is 14. I subtract. 8 minus 4 is 4. Is there a number I can multiply 7 by to get to 4? There's not, so I'm going to bring the 1 down. Is there a number I can multiply 7 by to get to 41? And yes, 7 times 5 is 35, and that's as close as I can get. So 5 times 7 is 35. I subtract, and I'm going to get 6. Bring this 6 down, because I can't do anything with the 6. I have 66, so is there a number I can multiply 7 by to get, well, close to 66? And that's 9. 9 times 7 is 63. Minus 6 minus 3 is 3. There's no other number to keep going. That's it. I could put a decimal there, but we're not doing this. We just see that we have a remainder of 3. And so we're going to have, it's going to be 259 with a remainder of 3/7. And notice I wrote the 3 and then I divided it by 7 because that's what we're still, if we did put a little decimal and start going with decimal 00, we could keep going, we could get decimal numbers, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stop there. Okay. Let's get into polynomials. Now that we know the algorithm, let's divide polynomials. I honestly feel that it is easier to divide polynomials than what we were just doing, but we did need the algorithm so that we're able to do it. So we're going to be dividing the quantity of x cubed plus 7x squared plus 16x plus 12 by x plus 2. So let's just write it down exactly like we did the other ones. X plus 2 is on the outside. X cubed plus 7x squared plus 16x plus 12. Now, here's the thing. We're really only going to be working with the x right now, and this first term x and this first term. And we're going to say, what can I multiply x by to get to x cubed. And so if I multiply x by x squared, I can get to x cubed. Now, if you don't know what I did there, what I'm going to do is block these out. Okay, so I need to find out what x cubed divided by x, this is to the first power, is. And when you do that, when you divide these, you subtract their exponents. And that's how I can get x squared. So if you didn't know offhand, what do I need to multiply x by to get to x cubed? If you didn't know x squared right off the bat, this is the actual mathematical way to get there. It is through that division. This is a 1. Okay? Now what we're going to do is just like we did before, we got to multiply this by x and multiply this by 2. Before it was just 2 numbers here, but because I have 2 terms, I'm going to multiply it. So, and I'm actually, my bad, that x squared should have been written right here because we have 2 terms here. Okay, x squared times x gives us x cubed. X squared times 2 gives us 2x squares. And you're going to see that these are like terms that line up. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to subtract. These first terms should cancel out. And then we're going to subtract 7x squares minus 2x squares and get 5x squared. Okay, just like the algorithm, we're going to bring down the next term, plus 16x. And then again, you're just going to look at the x and the 5x squared. And you ask yourself, what times x gives us 5x squared? And if you know offhand, well, that's going to be 5x. 5x times x gives us 5x squared. That's great. If you didn't, what I'm really doing is doing 5x squared divided by x, and this is really x to the first. And when we do the division, 5 divided by, there's really 1 is 5. 2 minus 1 is 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. And so that's how we got the 5x. So either you could just know it offhand because you've been doing these problems for a while, or this is how we mathematically get 5x. All right, so we're going to have to multiply 5x times x. That's going to give us 5x squared. We definitely want that. 5x times 2 gives us 10x. We subtract them. These should cancel out. 16x minus 10x is 6x. Bring down your positive 12, which is plus 12. Again, you're just going to look at the 6x and the x. What do I have to multiply x by to get to 6x? Hopefully you're saying 6. Perfect. If you didn't know, we're going to take 6x and divide it by x, and we get 6. Okay, that mathematically, that's how we got there. All right, now we have to multiply 6 times x is 6x. 6 times 2 is positive 12. When we subtract, everything cancels out. We have no remainder. So our answer is x squared plus 5x plus 6. And if we notice, we're dividing a cube by a first power. This is x cubed divided by x to the first. We come out with x squared as our degree here, that's what happens when you divide. You're going down one more degree, which is pretty cool. Okay. Let's try this whole process again. But this time we're going to get a remainder. So we have the quantity m cubed minus 16m squared plus 68m minus 48 divided by m minus 9. So let's rewrite it. M minus 9 All right, here we go. So again, we're just looking at m and m cubed. What times m gives us m cubed? And yep, m squared. And we're going to write it over this second term because there's 2 terms here and 2 terms here. So that's where we're going to write that first one. And if you didn't know, m squared divided by m to the first is, m cubed divided by m to the first is m squared, because 3 minus 1 is 2. So that's how we got this here. Let's multiply. M squared times m is m cubed. M squared times negative 9 is minus 9m squared. We are subtracting. Those cancel out. Now, since we're subtracting, be careful here, because we're subtracting, we're doing negative 16 minus a negative 9. So be careful on your when you're subtracting here, because you are going to have these symbols, these signs, negative minus another negative. And when we do that, this really becomes plus plus. So it's going to be minus 7m squared. You can also do that in a calculator if you want. Absolutely fine. If you're just like, I don't even want to mess around with the signs, I just want to do it in the calculator, go for it. All right, we're going to bring down the plus 68m, and we're going to ask ourselves, all right, what times m can give us negative 7m squared? So first, we know it's going to be negative. We know we're going to need a 7, and m times m is m squared. If you didn't know that, negative 7m squared divided by m to the first gives us negative 7m. 2 minus 1 is 1. And that's how we got this minus 7m, okay? So now let's multiply. Negative 7m times m is negative 7m squared. Negative 7m times negative 9 is positive 63m. We are subtracting. So see, this is negative 7 minus a negative, so these do become positive, so these do cross out. 68m minus 63m is going to give us 5m. Bring down the minus 48. Okay, what's next? All right. Now we're looking at the 5m and the m. All right, what times m can give us 5m? You're right, it's positive 5. Let's multiply. 5 times m is 5m. 5 times negative 9 is a negative 45. We are subtracting. That crosses out. We have negative 48 minus a negative 45. That's going to give us a negative 3, because these signs now change to positive. So we do have a remainder, and this is how we write the remainder. We're going to do m squared minus 7m plus 5 plus, actually, I'm so sorry, it's minus 3 divided by m minus 9. So just like we did on the other one, we're going to attach it onto this answer. It's negative, so it's minus. The remainder is 3, but we still could go on because we're still dividing it by m minus 9. That's why this is in the denominator, just like we saw when we were doing it before with all numbers and no polynomials. All right, and let's do the last one. Number 5, it's just a little bit different because it has a number in front of the x here. So we're dividing 5x cubed minus 4x squared minus 41x minus 2 by 5x plus 1. So we just have to be careful. We're still doing it the same way. We're still just looking at 5x and x cubed. So what can I multiply by 5x to get to x cubed? And that's going to be an x squared. Or if you want to do it like this, 5x cubed divided by 5x, and that's to the first. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 3 minus 1 is 2. That's how I got this right here. And then we're going to multiply. So this is going to be 5x to the third, x squared times 1 plus x squared. We do subtract. These cancel out. Negative 4 minus 1 gives us a negative 5x squared. Okay, bring down your minus 41x. Again, we're just looking at 5x and negative 5x squared. And so we are going to, and let's just do it like this. Negative 5x squared divided by 5x. Negative 5 divided by 5 is a negative 1. X squared divided by x to the first is x. So that's going to be negative And you know what? I did not write it in the right spot. X squared, there we go, and then minus X. Now, if you don't write in the right spot, that's just a silly mistake. I know what you mean. Try to write it in the correct spot. That just try not to make that silly mistake. So I did, but I corrected myself. Okay, let's do some multiplication. Negative x times 5x is negative 5x squared. Negative x times 1 is negative x. Minus, these cross out, negative 41 minus x. Please be careful because that is a positive. So we're at negative 40x. Bring down your minus 2. Okay? These two, negative 40x and 5x. Again, I'm just going to do it this way now. 40x, negative 40x divided by 5x gives us a negative 8. The x's cross out. Negative 4 divided by 5 is negative 8. Negative 8. Let's multiply. Negative 8 times 5x is negative 40x. Negative 8 times 1 is negative 8. Subtraction. These cross out. Negative 2 minus 8. Remember, that changes to positive, so that's going to be 6. So we do have a remainder of 6. So I'm going to write this as x squared minus x minus 8. I just recopied this. Plus, because this is positive, a remainder of 6 over 5x plus 1, because that's what we're still dividing by. So here's your whole process, trying to catch it in the screen, of dividing and then writing our answer. This has been dividing polynomials. This does take some practice. It does take getting used to the algorithm. I hope it helps.